What up, H-Sound? Welcome to another episode of the official Dynamo Theory Podcast. My name is Rudy Segura, and I'm joined by Cristian and Rodrigo Segura. Guys, say hello to the fans, man. They love you guys.
Hello, fans. I love you too.
Hey, everyone. Glad that you can join us.
Hey, so, week 2 passed already. We played in Kansas City, and that's where we're going to focus a lot of this 2, and of course, Matchday 3 coming up against Vancouver. So before we get started, Cristian, tell the peeps how they can connect with us, man.
Yeah, man. You can always get at us at Dynamo Theory on IG and Twitter. You can send us an email at dynamotheorypodcast@gmail.com. You can find me at Cris Putalias. You can find Rudy at Rudy Segura 3. And you can find Rodrigo at Rodrigo Segura 01. And then for everything and anything, you can always go to dynamotheory.com and you can find everything there.
Yeah, guys. So we put a video on the Instagram to try to see, comments, concerns, and stuff like that from the fans. I think we're definitely going to hit most of them. I do want to say, I think Oscar was the one that put give us your honest feedback on what you thought. Is that's what we do, man. This is what we do. We're here. We don't get paid by nobody to say anything else other than the honest truth. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start talking about week number 2 when Dynamo went and played in Kansas City. Sporting ended up getting that win in their home opener 1-0. We can start with you, Cristian or Rodrigo, if you guys want to give us a little bit of some takeaways or the lineup that we saw, which actually I can mention that the lineup was basically the same. We knew that Griffin Dorsey was injured. So we expected Sarek Valentin to start. Some of us were thinking maybe Teenage was going to play. And then that's pretty much it. I think that was the only. Oh, and Seren too, right? We were kind of maybe somebody else, either Coco or Quintero would get the start, but it is what it is. I guess, Cristian, you're going to go first, man. Your takeaways on what you saw of the game. I know you saw mostly the first half, some of the second, but go for it, man.
Yes. So basically, to be honest, I only saw the first half. I saw the goal, the play of the goal, but I only saw it once, so I'm not too familiar with it. I know there was a little revuelto in there, and I ended up in the goal. I wasn't able to watch the second half, obviously, because I was at work, and then I was looking for it everywhere, couldn't find it. So I'm just stuck with the first half. Nothing much happened, but I think if we want to be. We can either, see the glass half full or the glass half empty. I'm gonna choose the half full one just for the sake of it. But if you look at defensively, I think we did a pretty good job, even though we did play a really low block. Whatever it is that they call it. But basically, we were super defensive. Most of the 45 minutes, it was 10 guys behind the ball, with Sebastian just basically running around like a crazy madman. And it reminded me a lot of the Toronto game that we play in preseason. I don't know if you guys remember that. We had the 4 in the back, then a line of 5, and then so Sebastian and up top just kind of, trying to get the ball and just kind of waiting for a counterattack. There wasn't really much. Kansas City didn't really have clear opportunities of goals, to be honest. I think they only had one shot on goal, and it wasn't even a frame. It was just in the surrounding areas. But the Dynamo had nothing offensively either. So, it was a pretty stagnant game where the Dynamo just kind of sat back and just did to see if they could counter. I heard, to what I've heard, the second half was a little bit more offensive, if we can say that, because there wasn't a lot of chances either way. But the Dynamo kind of moved a little bit from that low block to the to the half field, maybe like a middle block. But to what I saw, it was a good defensive first half. Going into a Kansas City that is a home opener for Kansas City, so obviously they're gonna come out to win it. But other than that, I think we did a pretty good job defensively. So that's all I have for the first half. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you mentioned the first half. I know Rodrigo and myself did get to watch most of the game. At least I know I watched most of the game. But, from what we saw in Matchday 1, the team you can see that the lineup was definitely the same, again, apart from the one player that was different, but the actual tactics were very different, in the sense of when we played at home in the home opener, we were trying to keep possession. We were trying to exploit some of the space that Real Salt Lake gave us, but it wasn't there. And then in this game against Kansas City, playing away, definitely low block, definitely try to sit back and try and look for some counters. But you may see it as like, well, nothing really happened. There were a few occasions that we were able to be a little dangerous, just getting closer to their box, not necessarily creating chances. But what I saw different, what I've noticed, and Rodrigo, I'll let you kind of continue, but our wingers have been kind of awful starting. Whether it be Corey Bird or MVP Fafa, from last year, they're just not there yet in form. Rodrigo, go ahead, man, and add on what you saw, and you can go ahead and finish, season 2, the second 45 minutes, man.
Like, what am I watching? What season are we on?
15,
so,
17.
Yeah, and just to fill in, so as far as Kansas City, they had 5 shots on target. I mean, they were not the best, but so they obviously they did a little bit more than us.
And there was only one that was an actual like chance on goal, basically.
I think they had 2 big chances, really. And then and they had lots of shots, but they all went either wide or not on target.
Or Steve Clark
anyways,
saved it.
I just kind of wanted to add on that, but I saw 2 different Dynamos, and this was in the first game and in this game too. So like we mentioned, the first half it was just more defensively. This one was, like Cristian mentioned, the other approach of just kind of stand back and let them come to you and kind of work that. And when you have possession, you just keep it in the back half, not really do much with it. And I think what, once that goal happened, that's when they complete transition of like, let's go all out attack, basically. And that's when, Coco came in, Quintero came in, and they just started attacking more. And this is the other side of the Dynamo. Like, it was high press, high intensity, didn't have much of the ball, but it was actually going afterwards. So to me, I'm just curious, when is Paulo when is that gonna be his main focus of like, let's do high press, but at the same time try to keep the ball when we have it? Because right now it just seems like 2 different teams playing. You have this stay back and try to find maybe like long ball that you can get somebody open on a through ball, or we just got to find a goal and we just go all out attack, basically. And as far as the wing goes, I think if you're playing on that defensive side, they weren't really doing much. They were just staying wide and trying to make sure, they weren't really attacking their side, like trying to funnel in through the middle so we can intercept those. And then once the attacking side happened, I saw more defensively of them coming back and actively try to win the ball back, but at the same time actively just going and looking for like doing like a run from the back of the defender, or trying to find those spaces. Especially, what I saw Fafa, he was just going up and down, like something just completely, like it was like a second win almost, like something just kind of clicked and he was just basically going all out. I mean, I get it. He was probably pissed off that they were losing and trying to at least find a goal back. And then there was some, another like clear chance from Darwin again with that chip that almost could have gone in. And that comes from like pressing, because they were pressing so much that the goalkeeper just kind of, they played it back to him. They gave it away and unfortunately just kind of went wide. But like I said, it's just 2 different Dynamos right now. And I think Paulo's trying to figure that out. And I think the team's trying to figure it out, what style they're going to go for moving forward.
And I think what's really good about it is that, and it's refreshing to see, is that, his tactics again were to kind of hold back, kind of wait for that counter. And after we got scored on, you're right, it was a different Dynamo because he quickly, and I think that's when I said refreshing, I think this is where the refreshing part comes out of, because he made a ton of substitutions, something that we were not used to the last 2 years, right? Like It was just we're closed. Just keep the guys there, keep attacking, keep doing this. But he knew that he needed to change tactics, which meant players had to come in and come out. And obviously, like we saw, they scored in the 60th by Remy Walter, scoring and it's a goal that is kind of ugly just because it bounced around all over the box, eventually landing on him, and he got a pretty good shot with his left foot. But other than that, it was, not really a dangerous Kansas City, except for maybe one or two shots from Daniel Shaloi that just kind of went wide. But again, as soon as he plugged in Quintero, as soon as he plugged in Coco, it changed. With Quintero almost scored that nice little chip that just missed by a bit. And then, he was able to plug in him being Nagamura, making Tyler Pasher and Thor to go in. It also changed the dynamic of the team, making it a little bit more dangerous. Maybe a little too late, of course, because you are playing away. It's going to be difficult. They were already winning, so they were at the same time trying to make as much time as they could when we did attack. But the other great thing is that we did get to see Zeca get a few minutes. He came in the 86th minute for Sadek Valentin. A lot of us think that he is probably going to be, the right back of the future, just because it seems it's a guy that Nagamura really likes. And he brought him in for a reason. Cristian or Rodrigo, anything else you guys want to add about this game, or, anything? Okay, Cristian, go for it, man.
Yeah, I have two things that, I don't know if we want to kind of dive in deep a little bit, because, it's not that, like, me, myself, for example, I'm not, like, preocupado. I don't know what the word, worried. There you go. Found it. I'm not really worried about, like, the future of this team. I think it's still very, very, like, super early to, like, make judgment on, if Nagamura, like.
Oh, you're not throwing around the hashtag fire Nagamura?
Yeah, like, that's so dumb. With all due respect to everybody's opinion, I even think, like, if Tab Ramos was the one leading this group with all these players that all came in, I still would have give Tab Ramos like at least 10 to 12 games to kind of see, if these players, we're gonna make that team better, right? So, this whole throwing around, Nagamura, like, is he competent enough to, like, lead this team and stuff like that? I think is dumb, I think is nonsense right now, just because you're 2 games in, where, the guy only has with the team maybe 2-3 months. So it's not even like he doesn't even have his feet under this team yet, right? And he's still putting in players that we just got, like Zeca, we just met Zeca like 2 days ago, So it's not like, we've been playing together as a team, as a unit, for a while. Like, a lot of people have been talking about teenage, should he start? Should he come back and, get that position that he had? Has he lost that position to Steres? I just checked on FootMob. Steres was the highest rating player for us. So, he's, like Rodrigo was saying today in our group chat, Steres looks comfortable, like, why change, why fix something that's not broken?
Especially when we've only gotten scored 1 goal in 2 games, right?
Exactly.
So, I know that one thing that you had mentioned was that was kind of in the topics was how the defense looks great. And I don't think not necessarily just the defense. I think the team as a whole looks very organized. The midfield, of course, there's no creativity currently. We have no goals, so we can't really say much on the attack. And that's, I know that you have the numbers that Zach shared with you, kind of like what our XG looks like compared to just even not overall, but at least the Western Conference. I mean, it just tells you a lot. But defensively, Rodrigo, I'll let you kind of hit on that. Like, defensively, you got a clean sheet and you got a 1 goal against. I mean, what else do you want defensively or organized of the team, man?
I mean, we're so early on that I think that's good enough so far, especially an away goal. I guess, it's harder to play away. We all know that. And to only concede 1 time. And it could have been another 0-0 draw if it wasn't, like that. Like, if you watch the goal, it was a shot that just kind of bounced off Could have been cleared, I guess, but obviously he just landed perfectly in front of somebody. Everybody's still trying to look for the ball. Obviously, it's like in front of them, and then they just kind of hit it again. So it's one of those things that like it could have been avoided, but at the same time, it's not like the best play. Like if you're telling me this is a team goal and then like that results and they're like, okay, what the hell did we do? Like, why are we not fixing that? Or if it's like a set piece goal of like, man, why can't we defend corners? Or
if you're getting trashed, but like Cincinnati did, or Inter Miami, right?
Right. Let's just not even talk about that team that beat them. But like, we're talking about the Dynamo, damn it, Rudy.
But you know what I mean? Like defensively, like if the Dynamo would be eating goals left and right, against Real Salt Lake playoff team, Kansas City playoff team, and you barely lost 1-0 in their home opener. It says a lot to me. And I think we need to be patient. But again, on the other side of that coin, Cristian, the attack has lagged, right? A lot. We are sitting, and I think you have the actual number that Zach sent you, but I believe we're sitting like in last place, if not, pretty dang close on the Western Conference. And yeah, we have 1 point, but we haven't created much. Ferreira has been on an island, nobody really crossing the ball or, allowing for an attacking possibility. And so it's going to be difficult for Sebastian. I think I was kind of glad that, you could see that he was frustrated the last 2 games for sure. And especially against Kansas City. I mean, again, our away record is terrible for a while. It's not new. Yeah.
You know what's funny? That before the season started, everything that I would say, or like something that you would hear a lot was like, oh, like we have all this service, but we don't have anybody to like come in and close it up. We don't have a number 9. We don't have somebody in the box to like, put these balls away. And now that we do, like, there's no service. Nobody is like coming through to, we don't. And, the midfield, I think it's like its own little special topic that we can probably hit. But like, we're so used to, having Fafa or Baird or Pasha, that's another topic, like who should be starting.
And exactly. And just to hit on Fafa per se, the aspect of, he's still there. It's not like he forgot to play his MVP, season or best season in his career ever, scoring that many goals and having that many assists. But you see him on the pitch, and Kansas City is going to be a different animal. It's going to be a tough place to play. But he just didn't look like he would receive a ball and take like an awful touch and just lose the ball. Or Memo would give somebody like a ball, up the field, and they weren't ready for it. They just kind of didn't look in form, Rodrigo. And so, adding to that, what Cristian was saying, Bear should be starting. We did notice that when Pastor came in, it changed a lot of it in the second half. I don't know what you saw on that, Rodrigo, since you did get to watch most of that.
Well, I necessarily don't think it had to be just like that one player. I think it was just a whole tactical play, and when he came in, it was more like, okay, let's go out, full out attack, basically. So, like Bear didn't really get that opportunity to really attack. It was just, let me do my defensive role kind of thing. So yeah, as far as players, I'm pretty comfortable with what we have. Like I'm one of those that do trust Paulo and what he's doing. Obviously I'm not calling for his head already, like most people are, just second game in, and people are like, oh, is this gonna be it? We've seen this before. Like, come on now. Like, I don't know. I just think back about like all the coaches that there's been all over the world. And the one that stands out to me the most is like Sir Alex Ferguson. His first 5 seasons with Man U, he didn't win shit. He was like 11, 12, 13. Imagine after that first season when he finished, I think 11 or 10, people were like, oh, let's get a new one because this one sucks. Like, we're going to be mid-table team. Then you don't have this glorious Man United run that he, first, second, almost, I don't know how many times he won it, obviously, but you don't give somebody the opportunity to become something,
right?
And I just think if you keep being negative and like, okay, like this, this coach, has 1 point in 2 games. Let's get rid of him. Like, it's just, just be patient. And I trust what he's doing. I do want him to move forward with like that tactical play, like I said, with the more attacking side, and see how that works. Even if we can see like 3 goals, at least try to score 3 goals, or like.
And let me just add on the whole point of the tactics. We know injury has played on this, and we know form has played on this as well. On the press conference, and I'll add the clip here. They asked Coco, how come you basically, in other words, I think it was Jesus from the Beautician, but he said, Bayousidian? That's not how you say it. That's how you would say it.
It's from Bayou.
Wow, okay, Bayouician. That's what it is. Bayouician. But
Bayousidian.
We'll ask him.
I swear.
Okay. But he asked a very good question to Coco. He basically asked him, he was like, how come you're only coming in as a sub? Are you not ready or physically, or is the coach not wanting to put you? And Coco answered the question saying, actually, the last game of the preseason, or actually it was before that, because I think it was against Austin when it happened. But he mentioned the fact that he had kind of tweaked his hamstring. And so he had been getting limited playing time. And he said, I knew that I wasn't even going to play probably week 1, but I did get minutes just because I had like a weird, sensation when I was playing because of the injury. And in this one, he's like, I was feeling 90, 95%. So he gave me about the same amount of minutes. So with that, we know that if he's healthy this week, he's probably starting over Seren or Memo, right? And that right there already changes the perspective of the midfield a bit. So, and
a lot.
And then we can, we can just transition super easily to Matchday 3, because at the end of the day, we'll be playing at home against the Vancouver Whitecaps, who actually have the same record as us, except for they got beat really bad on their first match against Columbus 4-0, and then they just came from tying 0-0 at home like we did to start the season.
Champions.
So right. So here it is. Now that you're going into Matchday 3, what is your lineup gonna look like now that you got Zeca got some playing time? Now that doesn't mean he's right away to win the starting position, but that he's there now. He's in your he's able to be on the team sheet. Who's he knocking out? And then same thing with Coco. Like if Coco's playing, who's not there? Cristian, I saw your hand, man. Go for it.
Yeah. So this is gonna be. I'm gonna direct it to Rodrigo because every time that they talk to Paulo, about his styles of play or whatever, he's always talking about how each team that he plays against, he designs a plan, a tactical plan, dedicated to that team, right? And obviously, we knew going into Real Salt Lake, maybe we were kind of defensive, but, a little bit more attacking, right? And then we went into a Kansas City in their first home match. So obviously, a strong Kansas City. So you have to sit back and maybe, wait them out, maybe get them in a counterattack, or just wait for the second half, because that was basically the plan, right? Sit back first half, attack a little bit more the second half. So, shifting it to Rodrigo, what, knowing that you're going against a Vancouver that, they haven't done great, historic. I mean, who are we to talk, right, about doing great historically, right? But, Vancouver is not one of the strongest teams. Then again, who are we to talk, But how,
you have to keep throwing currently, and currently is almost a decade now. So Jesus.
Exactly, which is terrible. But how would you go into this game tactically? You're at home, you're going against an equal or worse team than you. How would you go?
How I would go into this is basically how Paulo, I think, is going to go, which is going to be the second half of the last 2 games. It's going to be more of an all-out attack. Vancouver gave up, 4 goals already, none to New York. So they played more defensively, just kind of like how we played against Kansas City. But at least we know that they can concede goals, basically. So I think I would go the first half, or at least the first 20 minutes of like an all-out attack. If Coco's healthy, I think you need to start him just so we can get that going. If Zeca is playing like at a 80, 90%, I think you'll start him as well, just so he can give you that run as well. And then if you want to sit back and depending how the game goes and defend a little bit more in the second half, then you take them out, put somebody like Valentin or somebody that's just going to, be able to be dependable, moving the ball around the back. But I feel like for the first 20, maybe 25 minutes, you're going to go all out attack, find the goals, because we desperately need that. Like I feel like if we go one whole half without scoring, that's I can do math right now, but that's 225 minutes of not scoring a goal. So I think you just need to find that goal right away. And I think that's going to be the approach. And I think he knows that because, you want to respect the rival and you want to respect Vancouver, but at the same time, you're playing at home and this is your best chance of scoring right away.
Yeah, I think that the approach has to be that way. The first game against Real Salt Lake, it was a lot of, be respectful and kind of, this is the first time we do this, so let's try not to make a lot of mistakes. You know what I mean? And this time it's going to be, I would say about the same in the sense of like, let's try to be respectful, but it's only going to probably be 2 minutes in or 5 minutes in. And after that, they're going to try to get that first goal. And we didn't even mention Quintero. I mean, maybe Quintero gets a start and Coco gets a start together. And that'll be exactly looking like what every time those two guys come in, they do a lot of, damage or they get dangerous. Obviously, Quintero almost scoring 2 goals, really nice goals that were going to be. The guy could already have 2 goals to his tally, but again, it hasn't happened. Hopefully that Fafa and whoever plays on the wing, whether it be Corey Baird or Tyler Pasher, can give some crosses going for Sebastian, man. But I thought you were gonna say something, Cristian. And but yeah,
I'm gonna look up Corey Baird's number.
Yeah. So, and again, it's one of those that I think we have to be patient because at the end of the day, Paul is still evaluating the players, right? We already made a few additions. There may be some coming still before, Hector Herrera, which is obviously the big name, comes in. And I think, we've talked enough about Herrera and how he can help this team, which is tremendous. But you still have so many games before that even comes to fruition, right? Before he comes to his first match, which will probably be sometime in July. So, you still have 3 months of matches, and you can't just allow to continue to lose points, especially at home. The only bad thing, I think, is going to be a cold weekend. So maybe the Whitecaps feel at home and they're like play better than us that way. It's not 100-degree weather that you can kind of suffocate the team, but there's things that you kind of have to use to your advantage. They are not there yet, so you do have to come out guns blazing and try to get that first goal as soon as you can, which obviously is going to open to counterattacks by the Whitecaps. So it just, but defensively we've been pretty sound. So if you're planning to give it an all-out attack, you probably won't see a teenage Davy maybe, or just so you don't tweak your defense too much. But I'm excited to see. Anything else you want to add, Cristian? I'd say you're looking at the numbers.
Corey Baird had 1 shot in 2 games.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure if you look at the other guys, I don't know if Fafa had some good cutbacks, but he just didn't get the shot or didn't pass the ball. I think
Fafa had 3 shots versus Real Salt Lake only.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
and we know Corey Baird, especially, is a guy that I believe he can do a lot of good stuff. He's much better defensively, and the one that loved defensive midfielder or defensive wingers like Fafa was, was Top Ramos. So that's what we have right now. We didn't have that and so when you had a Maxi Ruti that wasn't really much of a scorer, then somebody else had to step up. Yeah, somebody else had to step up. So anything else you guys want to add on this?
So, Quintero from the start, yes or no?
I would. I mean, from what Rodrigo said, I think
At least 45, right?
yeah, at least
From me.
45.
From me,
He said
what
he
I
said Coco.
said.
But you said, if you're
I
gonna
said
start
Coco.
the set from the start,
No, I mean yes, but like I'm basing it off what Nagamura has said, and they asked him if Quintero, does he see him as a super sub? And obviously, his response was like, no, I really don't see anybody as like
we
a
have
super
like
sub.
20
And,
starters.
but yeah, exactly, like 17 to 18 starters, something like that. But I don't know. I think like Coco, yes, gives you a little bit more. Like it's either gonna be one or the other. Like if Coco doesn't start, it's gonna be Quintero. If Quintero starts, then I don't think Coco will start. Yes, they make a good pair together, but I feel like if you go all out and it does not work out, you kind of screwed for that second half. Like I feel like you're just gonna play more defensively, and maybe there are subs that come in,
Okay,
kind of change the game for them.
So there's the question. Coco starts. We say Coco starts, right? He's healthy. He's most likely getting that start. Then who's playing on the other side? Is it Beta? I mean, not Beta. I'm sorry. Is it Darwin Seren or is it Memo?
No, Memo, of course.
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
Honestly, I would think Memo would
because
the more offensive-minded guy.
Yeah,
exactly. No, I agree with that. But I mean, obviously, the way that it's been played is Memo is the one kind of being the free, the man roaming around, and Seren and Beta are the ones kind of staying back a bit. And if you notice, well, just that whenever we would lose the ball, and that happened on both games, they would get flat. All three midfielders were just flat. Like Beta was playing in the middle, set in on the other side, and Memo, and that's how it was. But when we gained the ball, Memo in that case would always move towards the front, and then the other guys too would kind of stay back a bit. So that's the reason I asked: would you see set in or would you see Memo? But I mean, if you kind of want to be a little attacking, I would put Memo in and make it that maybe 60-minute substitution in the second half.
I mean, and what we saw of the last game, when Coco and Quintero came in, Quintero was kind of more of the free roaming and Coco was staying back more. So it just kind of makes sense that, Coco is basically meant for man. You were getting set in out, you're putting Coco in, and then you just leave Memo until, I don't know, whenever he feels comfortable to make a sub. I'm sure Quintero will replace him. It's just going to be a man-for-man situation. And depending how the game is, you can even go more defensively later on and take Coco out. And I will put somebody like Derek Jones in, give him some minutes and at the same time play more defensive. Just to, seal the win if that's going to be like the case.
Yeah, and I think the wingers have to do a better job of creating some space when we have the ball. I think that's definitely lacked. We're not going to go play kickball anymore. This is not a Wilmer Cabreras, at least in Kyoto, just run for the hell of it. That's not what Nagamura is trying to play, of course. So we need to have them at least play, wider, open up the field and find those gaps, because no matter how good your midfield is, if there's nobody to pass it to, even in space, you're not going to go far. And I think that's the reason why we've been suffered so much and the lack of attack. But you guys, this is the part that we kind of give our score prediction, I guess. I know it's kind of early on, but I think we're going to get a win. I think that this is the first win of the season. We'll get to celebrate some goals. I'm hoping that we can get a clean sheet. But realistically, I think it's going to be a 2-1, end to the match. But what are you guys thinking?
I don't think Rodrigo agrees.
Rodrigo does not agree. Rodrigo, go, man.
No.
No.
What do you see here?
Agua?
Agua?
No.
Is it vodka? I can't tell the difference.
I thought, yeah.
It's tequila. It's tequila.
Like,
that's what it is.
This guy's getting drunk on a Tuesday night. Go for
it. That's how it is, man.
Tequila and taco night. I got it.
It's TT Tuesdays.
No, I think we're still gonna keep that clean sheet going, or run, I guess, of like not getting scored on. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a clean sheet, and I think this is gonna be the turning point where
Yeah.
Paulo is gonna try to get all the Dynamo fans, skepticals back on the let's ride this out kind of.
Oh, and that's the best part, you know? Everybody's already trying to fire the guy. And then if we win, like say we win 3-0, 4-0, it's gonna be the opposite, you know? People are just gonna, ridiculous.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be like I think it's gonna be focused on Sebastian, get him his first goal, get him a couple goals. I think this is gonna be the chance that if we win this game, it's gonna be like 3-0, a nice eventful game that people can feel confident. Okay, he has 2 clean sheets, only conceded 1 goal against Kansas City, and now we win 3-0. I think that's gonna be the score. But again, it's my glass
of tequila, half empty or half full. Sorry, half full.
Gotta keep pouring
tequila. But what about you, Cristian? What are your thoughts on that match, man?
I have too many thoughts right now. I'm thinking about so many things. Like, I think we're gonna win 2-0, period. But just to keep the discussion.
Look at it. I knew it was tequila. I knew it.
He has it right there handy. But I don't know if you guys want to keep going. I really want to keep going.
I hope you're not taking. Wait, I hope you're not taking a shot because you're sad, Rodrigo. With the Dynamo.
Liverpool one.
That's true.
No, man, it's not. Tequila's not to be sad. It's
sometimes
it's good, man.
On a Tuesday, I think on a Tuesday it is kind of.
Who broke your heart, Rudy?
Who hurt you?
Man.
But I just
Tab's not here anymore, man. Tab is not here. Let it go.
It's Matt. It was Matt.
It was Matt. This guy.
He kept all the money.
He didn't spend any money.
Imagine how hard Matt Jordan messed people up. That 2 games in with Nagamura,
I thought I was going somewhere else when you said imagine how hard, man.
I was gonna say it, but I was trying to be clean a little bit.
You're no kidding, bro. Everybody it's like Matt Jordan messed people up so much that they're trying to fire this guy already. They're just not giving.
But that's the thing that I want to talk about. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about this, please.
But can you what was your prediction though? 2-0?
2-0.
All right,
2-0
cool.
Dynamo, right. And then in my head, I think Dorsey starts on the right.
Okay.
With Zeca behind him. I don't know. I like.
I can
Dorsey
see that. Yeah.
And I see Dorsey going all the way down, putting a ball, and Sebastian gets the first goal.
That'd be nice.
1-0. Y el otro viene por el otro lado. Yeah, go ahead.
Do we know what's the status on Dorsey though?
Not yet. We haven't heard. And honestly, I didn't even see him if he was practicing or not. So we'll find out. We'll find out. I mean, chances are probably low. I think Sarik's going to probably play again or start again unless he feels comfortable playing Zeca. But I'm with you. I think if Griffin Dorsey's healthy, I think you start Griffin Dorsey.
But I would start him as a winger, not a fullback.
I guess, yeah, I can see that. I got you.
I think he's more dangerous.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good
he does have a little bit of flair. He looks like a very straightforward guy, but then straightforward, like just run, like you said, just kind of. But he's able to do a little bit of moves and why not, and do spin arounds, and
I mean,
he got nothing to lose. I mean,
Dorsey has been one of the most dangerous players that we had.
All last season for sure too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm not pulling it out of my ass. I mean, Baird 1 shot in 2 games. Dorsey I think he can give you at least 3 crosses a game. Or 3 crosses and a half, like in 1 half, and then 3 crosses. I mean, easily, because he's not going to cut in like Fafa. Fafa, 9 times out of 10, he's going to try to cut in. He's not going to try to put the cross. And that's because, he's a goleador. He wants to score. But Dorsey, he's more of a servant type. He's going to want to give you the ball so you can score. That's what I like about Dorsey, that he'll run his ass off, and then he'll try to get you the ball. But, who knows? All
right. Well, moving on to what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, yes. So this is the thing.
I got to get everybody on topic. Jesus Christ here.
God, right? It's like, God. All right. But this whole switching from not fire Nagamura, but this whole being depressed and then happy and then depressed and then happy. I don't understand why people just pick like pick a lane and just stick with it. I feel like I don't know if they do it, to like be dramatic or I respect everybody and I respect everybody's opinions, but like it's just like people are overreact so much. Like I
People
said
look for that
previously,
instant gratification, bro. That's
yeah,
the
like
thing. That
I don't know.
everybody like
I
fast
don't know.
food. That's the issue, man.
Yeah, that is the issue. I like fast food too, but that's why I have a giant pimple right here because I had too much Whataburger.
See, when our what's it called? Our cavemen, man. When we were cavemen back in the day, we had to go out, hunt for food, prepare the food, cook the food. We had to do everything nowadays. And that probably took like 3 days before you even ate that.
But
Nowadays,
yeah,
everybody wants it quickly.
like everybody was so high, like Ache can't, like, the news broke out and everyone was like, oh, we're the best team in the world. Like Ache is going to come and like, we're going to be the best, the Dynamo. Look at this and look at the organization. Look at the future. Look at how the team is training. And then you go and you lose to, SKC, one of the best teams in the West. And you're like, oh, we suck. Nagamura sucks. Look at his tactics. There was nothing behind it. This and this and that. Like, are we going to play this, defensively all the time? And it's like, nah, like the guy went in with a plan. You can't go into, Children's Park thinking, you're I'm, big Dynamo over
We
here.
never even won any times that away that often. So
you might want to keep that sentence separate. Children's Park and big
anyway, but hey,
but yes,
that would not be clipped. That would not be clipped, just so you know. But no. And I think, before you continue your full train of thought, the Ache thing too, man. I think people were super, super hyped. And then out of nowhere, people were like, oh, well, you should bring this other guy now. And you should bring in this other guy. It's like, dude,
relax.
Relax. We've never had this. You can't be already acting like little spoiled brats. Like, we're not going to keep getting players like LAFC or,
Diego Lainez is coming.
Oh, my God. That's like the biggest rumor mill that is just so annoying. Everybody everybody in true media keeps saying like it's gone. But on Twitter, everybody keeps saying that he's coming. And it's like, we don't know. We really don't know. But at the same time, like, let it kind of settle down, guys. Like, how many times? I mean, I think getting Ache and getting players like Sebastian, we waited 17 years for this. That's all I have to say. We waited this long. So kind of let it kind of settle. And Cristian, go ahead and finish your thought, man.
No, well, just that. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know. I'm baffled. Like, I don't get how people can be like so flip flopped. And it's always the same argument. Well, look at the past years. But this is my argument. Look at the future. Look at what we're trying to build. You're not. Like that one thing that one of the Spanish reporters said. Rome wasn't built in a day. So don't expect the Dynamo to come in. Nagamura has been a head coach for 2 months since. I mean, I think I have. Well, no, I was going to say something stupid. I was going to say that I have probably the same experience as Nagamura, but which I don't. But like the guy, he's still like not learning. He knows. He got there for a reason. You don't get hired to a job because you don't know. Yes, you learn in your job. In job training or whatever it may be. But I mean, he understands the game. The fact that he can like sit there and talk to you and explain to you the tactics of each game separately, like must, like like
yeah,
I know
that
we don't hear everything that he says,
right?
And and I know a lot of people don't get to hear the press conferences, and that's why I was so high on Tab Ramos, because whenever he would talk, I would understand him. Well, I mean, but then other people would hear him and say something else.
Yeah.
But everybody that heard him, like, people that I talked to today, most of the people, it's not that they were pleased or happy with Tab Ramos, but they were like pleased at the idea of what Tab Ramos had. Like Tab Ramos had an idea. He kind of kept it. Yes, it didn't work out, but I don't think it was completely 100% Tab Ramos' fault. And also the fact that you have literally a bottom team.
I mean,
let's
just
be
to add,
honest, our
think
team
about
is not the greatest.
what would be Tab Ramos now
Player-wise.
with the money that was spent. I mean, I'm sure right now he's like cussing at right now, and as soon as they sign Ache, he's like,
Yeah, he's probably getting mad because like, damn it, I wanted him to be on my bench.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't use my fifth substitute, my fourth, and my third. Let me,
It'd probably be like, hey, Herrera, go warm up at the like 80th minute, and then think about it.
No, and what you're saying is true in the sense of, I mean, coaches are the first people that are gonna fall. There's no way that you can, restart a whole squad in the middle of the season. You can't do that as much as you want to. So the first ones to get, fire or lose their job are going to be coaches whenever the results are not coming in. But to that extent, I feel like it has been, a big difference from, of course, yes, I get it. We have 1 point out of 2 matches, but we haven't gotten that win. That's so, road to 10 or double-digit wins that we want so bad. I'm ready to I mean,
yeah. Seattle has 0 wins.
I know.
Lost 2 other games.
Then they're already asking for their coach's head. I doubt it.
Yeah, but it's nothing. I mean, let's be honest. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but you don't got the answers right. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. But Austin, they scored 10 goals in 2 games. Do we really think they're contenders for the MLS Cup? No. They just played 2 shitty teams.
Really bad teams.
What I'm saying?
Yeah,
they played at home.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the people, the whole environment, it pumps you up. You score 1, you score 2, you're like, hell yeah, let's score 500,
Yeah.
But I don't think they are MLS contenders just because they scored 10 goals in 2 games.
No. I agree with you. I mean, and again, it's so early in the season. One thing that I do hate when players say it is when they say like, we got plenty of time. Like, you can have that mentality as well, because we've had fallen into that rant of like, yeah, man, there's, 32 games left, but nothing changes. Like, you don't see anything. And then by the end, whenever you notice, it's already halfway through the season, and then we're in decision day, and we're all over here not having a happy, end to the season because we're, again, last or second to last on the table. But Rodrigo, go ahead and add what you wanted to add, man.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no. So I just wanted to add, what Cristian's saying, like, why are people like this, all that. I think, especially because of the recent years, we've been almost like brainwashed with all of these other sports that they're just buying players left and right, trading players left and right, because of something that didn't work out. Especially like here in Houston, we ended up going in basketball with the Rockets. You had Westbrook, you had CP3, you traded Harden, you get rid of your bigger guy, like your best guy, and then even Harden, and like with Brooklyn, then he goes to Philly. It's just, in baseball too, you have NFL. Like, I think it's just like something doesn't work out, trade this guy immediately, and I feel like that's how people are now, and bringing that into football, soccer, that they're like, oh, we have a new owner, buy everybody, buy this guy, buy that guy. Oh, that doesn't work out, let's get rid of him. That's not, like, let's bring somebody better. Like, I feel like we're just bringing that mentality here, and that's what people are, I guess, in that pattern. And those of us who are passionate about it, we know that things just take time. Like, you rather have a La Masia, you rather have like a Ajax or Dortmund, which are bringing players, creating
selling
players.
them. Yeah, you want to be FC Dallas. I mean, as much as you want to be FC Dallas, but
Rudy, damn, like, first Austin, now Dallas.
Okay, you know what I mean. I'm saying, but in the sense of like, you want to be able to be that team. I mean, dude, come down. We have 2 championships. Dallas doesn't. But what I'm trying to say is, like, you want to be able to feed your, the first team with your academy. You don't want to keep spending like other teams like Man City, to throw in the sense of like, they have a decent academy now. But I mean, it got to a point that they just kept spending, and they never really have won the things that they want to win. Yes, they've won the Premier League, but I'm sure they're, champions is what they're looking for. And to an extent, it's not even that great to be that, because that's whenever you guys were mentioning coaches, some people say coaches don't matter. Well, yeah, of course they don't matter when you're in Chelsea or when you're in, you know what I mean? Like in Real Madrid, sometimes the players just dictate because they're better than everybody else. So of course the coach is not going to make a big difference. You only need the coach to kind of manage the players, kind of like, okay, let them do what they want to do. But at the end of the day, like if you have a Benzema, you have a player that can just change the game instantly. It's not the same thing, guys. It's not. This is a Dynamo. Like go look at FIFA. Our best player is Zeca with 74 overall, guys. Come on. Like what I'm saying is, let it get there. Let it.
No, I had off topic, but I think I saw that Sam Junqua is getting like a special car, but I think it's one of those throwaway cars. So that's kind of messed up. I hate when they do that. So yeah.
But that's my point. To me, is like, let us kind of enjoy what we've asked for change for so long, and it finally happened. And I feel like people are losing sight of that because it happened so quickly. They expect, dude, we just signed Achacha. We should be winning every game, or we should be attacking, and we have the players. And why isn't that happening? I mean, I'm sure that Paulo, Nagamura doesn't go and tells Fafa and Corey, I don't want you guys to score. I don't want you guys to attack. I'm telling you, watch the game. Fafa had just not been Fafa that we know. His touch has been awful, and it doesn't help him, right? There's, especially playing in Kansas City, not a lot of chances were created. We know that in the home opener, nice. 61, nice throwaway card for sure. Sorry, Sam.
No, it's like a token or whatever they call it. So yeah, you trade this in.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's kind of like my point. I don't want to rant too much about it. There's a lot of left in the season, and maybe, hopefully, we're maybe getting closer to the playoff if it's not. But anyways, Cristian.
You know what's funny that next, if God willing we win next Saturday. Like, we're going to be the best team in the world on Twitter. And it's going to be super annoying.
Yep.
Because people are going to be on top of Ted Siegel and, oh, thank you, Ted, and Daddy Ted, and this Ted.
And that's the thing, too. Right now that you mentioned it, we still have till April. I forgot what day. But the transfer window is still open. You don't know. They may sign another guy this week or maybe next week to incorporate to the team. I mean, again, you're playing, you're allowing these guys to get some playing time. If it doesn't work, you're trying to move them elsewhere, right? I mean, Corey Baird, Fafa, you don't know. You may be able to trade them if they show something. They're not showing anything. So it also is going to lead Paulo to collaborate with Pat Onstad and Asher and be like, hey, we do need another guy to take over. We need this or we need that. I mean, does he even want to play Hadavi? I mean, we haven't really seen much. Maybe, a new coach comes in and he has his players that he likes and players that he doesn't like. That's how it is no matter what, right? Any place you work, it's relatively the same sometimes. The guy, new boss is in or new manager's in and he's going to favor a specific person and not another. Yeah. So
even Tyrann was at that.
Exactly. I mean, we noticed that. I mean, what do you think? There's a doghouse with the name Quintero on it. It just kind of it. That's how it goes. No, it doesn't matter if he's your most talented player. Some guys want to. Well, in his case, I think it was a lot of pride for sure. But yeah, it just kind of happens. You pick who your favorite is. But yeah, man.
So, anyways, this is kind of interesting for this weekend. For those people that like to play some bets or risk whatever you could risk. Dynamo right now is favorite to win. And then they're also, the game's also favored to be over 3 goals, basically.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So,
that sounds right. That's why I keep saying 2-1. But
when I see those 3 goals, I see like that has to be Dynamo just because Vancouver, like we have a good defense, I feel. And then Vancouver has 0 shots on target and on goal.
Jesus.
If we get scored on by somebody that cannot even take a shot on goal in 2 games, that might be an issue. But
did you just describe the Dynamo? I'm confused.
We took shots. We took shots.
I know. Oh man, but no, I'm super excited for this match. I'll be at match day 3. Probably be sitting in the supporter section as well because I'm really looking forward to celebrating some of the goals from those three goals. Probably they're coming. Cristian, you'll probably be there as well. Probably, right? Yeah, maybe in the media box. Rodrigo, he'll be on his way to Italy, apparently. So.
Hey, look at this guy.
Can you watch that on ESPN Plus? I mean, even when you're flying, like
it's gonna be a geo blocked.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's too close to Houston, maybe.
Too close to the sun, bro.
Wait. It's the game's on Saturday, right?
Yeah, the game is Saturday.
I'll probably be watching it at the airport.
Well, I mean, there you go. But where the hell are you gonna watch it? Then I mean, that's the thing.
My phone.
Oh, you can watch it on Telex Éxitos or whatever.
They might have a
Plus, right? I use your account, Rudy.
Wait, but I thought. Oh, wait, you're flying from Dallas here, or
no, I'm flying from Houston.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So how the hell are you gonna watch it on ESPN Plus? It's blocked.
No, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you.
Oh, but I think by the. Well, actually, I'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm saying if you're in the plane, you.
We have a connecting flight in Chicago, so.
Oh, you'll watch it there.
But I think it starts. I mean, our flight leaves at 6, so maybe not.
The game's at 5:30, I think.
I know that's what I'm saying, but I'll be in Houston at 5:30.
I mean, okay, fine.
I don't know.
Record it somehow.
Watch the second half. Anyways, we rambled too much about this whole little adventure that we're not going into. We're just playing. Take a picture of us and then just put it in places. So then, like, they pop up and then, like, we can be like Dynamo Theory in Rome. Hey. Dynamo Theory. Eating pizza.
Take a scarf or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rudy, let me borrow a scarf. I'll put it in the...
All right, I'll give you one. I have like 20, bro.
The Vatican, bro. In the Vatican.
Yeah. Go, dáselo al Papa. Be like Papa. They told me you're a San Lorenzo fan, but here I have a better one. We have a guy named Mati Vera. He's way better Argentinian.
He was signed by San Lorenzo at one point in time.
That's true.
I'll give it to Jose Mourinho.
There you go.
Estadio Olímpico.
Get a blessing from the Pope.
From the chosen one.
That's probably better.
Nos va a salar más. But all right, guys. So that wraps up match day 3. I think we're all super excited. Before we get finished, we'll talk a little bit of Dynamo Dos. I think some people have been. So Dynamo Dos will be playing Sunday. They did lose against RGV this past weekend. So they're getting ready for the preseason to end and for the regular season to start their inaugural season, which starts, I believe, is the 20th, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they've been playing. They're going to start playing Sunday, or most of their matches are Sunday. Games.
Well, it's actually a Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday. Okay, and so games will pretty much all of them will be played at Abiba Stadium, except for one, and tickets start around $7. So go out there, check out the guys that don't get as much playing time with the first team, and then a little bit of a mix of the youth academy and other college players. Rodrigo, quit laughing, god dang it. Anyways, so before we finish with that, I think we had a few fan questions that popped up, and I'm sure we hit most of them, but the one I shared with the guys, I thought it was hilarious. And this guy Dago Rodriguez is like a loyal follower for sure. And this is the question I sent to you guys too. He asked, which 3 players from the current roster are you taking to back you up in a bar fight, including Ache? I think that's a freaking hilarious question out of all of them, And I have my 3, but I'll let you. Any of you, Rodrigo, do you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, this is a no-brainer. You gotta get Derek Jones. Big guy, strong. He'll be able to back you up, I feel. This one's gonna be like an obvious set in. I know he has some fight in there. Back in the days, he had to be in the streets. I know he can fight. And then I gotta go with the crazy one, which I don't even know if he's old enough to drink, but Thor.
Oh
Yeah. I feel
But
like this guy would just like
he look like
defend you no
hands.
matter what. Doesn't
I
matter
don't
if
know.
they called
I
you
feel like he would be the one starting the fight, though. That's
Exactly.
the
That's what I'm
issue.
saying,
Most
like-
likely.
So he's not really backing you up. You're screwed because you're backing
You're
him
backing
up.
him up, yeah.
like
But what about you, Christian? Dude, who would be your three?
I'm going with the center backs. You know, Tim, Steris, and Teenage. Let's go.
That's a good combination.
Because they're usually the bigger guys.
I for me, I definitely had Parker. You know, the dude is just like he looks like somebody. He looks like the guy that is bouncing at what's it called? Being the bouncer. So he's definitely right there. Then I didn't even think about Derek Jones. That's a funny one. But I was thinking Fafa. I feel Fafa is one of those guys that he'd be like getting in people's faces. Yeah. He'll get in people's faces. Like he just.
I feel like he's too nice. I feel like he'll be. I don't know. Wanting to sing more than anything.
And then that's funny to say that because I had a third one. I'm trying to think who I had originally wrote down, but it wasn't any of it wasn't Derek Jones or anything.
And
that.
He's just gonna leave. He's just gonna probably be like, "Hey, dude, I'll pay the ticket. Don't worry." Like, he paid too much money to make himself beautiful, so I don't think he wants to damage any of that.
That's true.
Shout out to the surgeon.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Teenage for me.
No, Sebas.
Okay, fine. Sebas.
Body kid.
Or maybe
Sebas looks like a
go with
Scarface
Clark
guy.
just because goalkeepers are always kind of crazy. Like they always do their own shit.
He'll grab he'll grab a bottle and smack it in his head and be like, "You want something?"
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's true.
Oh man! All right. Well, we had a good discussion tonight.
Now, but here a little bit.
Yeah.
Who would you not pick to back you up?
Oof. Let me see. I would probably not pick Adam. I think Adam is probably the one you don't want. I think he's too nice. I think he's too nice.
He'll be the hugger.
Yeah, he'd be like
Adam, Pasher, and Corey Baird.
Really? I could see, but Pasher has like that.
Nice.
I think Pasher looks like he likes hip hop. He has that. You never know, kind of like 8 Mile. You know what I mean? Like you don't know. I don't know.
But he's Canadian. But he has to be nice by nature.
That's true.
And then I guess we could say Castilla because he's a young buck.
But he's Colombian, bro.
He is Colombian.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel like
you don't care.
I could be like Popeye, like Pablo Escobar, right hand guy.
Right?
You don't know. I think
you never know. That's true.
But Rodrigo, did you have one or are we?
Maybe Mati. I heard Argentinians are friendly. No, I'm just kidding. No, maybe Memo. I think Memo wouldn't want to be fighting anyone. I think he's just like, dude, come on, guys, just trying to have fun.
But then again,
I gotta go home.
But then again, Memo in the game, she gets kind of feisty.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why I was saying about Fafa. I felt like
you got the Mexican blood in him.
Fafa's always trying to fight the referee sometimes. They're true. Like, that's a yellow card. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then you saw how many times he got hit and kicked against Real Salt Lake, and he got up and was like, "What's up, man? Where's the foul?"
What did he do? Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, Christian, tell the peeps how they can connect with us, man, and we'll get this Rodrigo to close it out.
Yeah, man. So you can always hit us up at Dynamo Theory on IG and Twitter. You can send us an email to dynamotheorypodcast@gmail.com. I don't think we have received the one email, but just in case.
God, you know what? Wait. I don't even check the email sometimes. I forget. So, but
just DM us.
No, yeah, send them info for sure.
You can find me at Cris Putaleas on IG and Twitter. You can find Rudy Segura at Rudy Segura 3, and you can find Rodrigo at Rodrigo Segura 01. And what? And then you can always find everything, the player, the recaps, the player ratings, the breakfast links, the player reviews and everything like that at dynamotheory.com for everything and everything.
And I was just gonna say before Rodrigo closes out, yeah, definitely, help us check out all the episodes or past episodes from the podcast, including the Orange Talk. we did a few back-to-back pretty early on in preseason, which was Marcelo, Memo, Fafa. And last week we did the very first one in Spanish, and we hope to do more of those in Spanish for our people. And Matias Vera was that one. So, even if you don't speak Spanish, man, pass it on. Tell your friends to speak Spanish. That's how we get people interested in the Dynamo for sure.
For reasons. And we're trying to get to 150 subscribers. Just kidding. We're at 208. But on Instagram. But yeah.
That I remember what I was gonna say. And make sure to give us a review on the podcast. Wherever you listen to, for sure. Let us know, help us grow the podcast as well as our Dynamo Theory community. So make sure to give us a review, give us some feedback. If Rodrigo's not funny, if you guys think he's stupid, whatever it is. We do say a lot of dumb stuff for sure. Rodrigo, go, man, go.
All right, guys. Thank you, Houston Dynamo fans, again for listening. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. And remember to hold it down and keep it forever orange.
Sweet.